Please open mind. Discern this in all information. Cobra interview November 8, 2016. Interview posted on November 16, 2016. For more information visit prepareforchange.net.
This is the Malawi update for November 8th, 2016. My contact Enoch has sent me pictures of an 8-year-old, George Andrew, and his siblings, Estri, Lucia, and Daniel. They range from ages 5 to 10 years old. These 4 children lost both of their parents due to malaria. Now the children live with their young auntie. Their house, like all of the village houses, is made of adobe brick, which are made from dirt and water, then dried in the sun. They sleep on the dirt floor, no beds. They are happy to have a blanket, and that too is usually shared. There is no indoor plumbing, no kitchen. Cooking is done outdoors with the neighboring villagers. It is because of the goodwill and generosity of our Prepare for Change family that Enoch was able to give this family a 50-kilo bag of maize. This will last about 1 week. We are really making a difference with these people's lives. If it weren't for you, our listeners, that have opened your hearts and your wallets for this village in Malawi, Africa, there would be more people dying of starvation. Another area where we have made a difference this month is that we have sent money to buy mosquito nets for the orphanage children. The children sleep under the mosquito nets to protect them from the mosquitoes that carry malaria. Enoch has just delivered the mosquito nets and will be sending me pictures of the children with their nets. Of course, I will share these pictures with you. We are creating a place on our website where you will eventually be able to see those who you are helping. Be sure to watch for the upcoming Smalley 7 YouTube channel video of this month's Cobra interview, which will begin with pictures from Malawi. My dear friends and contributors to this Feed Malawi project, please include your email address when you send money for Malawi so that I can thank you for your heartfelt effort. I don't spend money on stamps because Malawi needs all the help they can get right now. When our foundation is funded, Malawi will be the first recipient of much-needed aid in order to create a community that can thrive. Please continue to help me so I can help them. Please send your check to 4530 Whittier Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90022. Please indicate on your check whether it is for Malawi or for Prepare for Change. You can abbreviate PFC. I thank you with all my heart for your generosity. Welcome back, Cobra, to our monthly Intel update. Today is Tuesday, November 8th, voting day for the United States. We have seen much activity on both sides since the last update. Our big money corporations have been constantly bombarding us with every opportunity with commercials to entice us into voting for their targeted issue or telling us why something is bad for us, whether it is the truth or not. I hope everyone has read up on the propositions and voted their conscience. We don't know at this point what people are going to take the top spots, but one thing is for sure. We the people are waking up, and we will win. Victory to the light. The one thing we can do is to remain self-assured, calm, and peaceful. The best way we can do this is with focused meditation. We have a great opportunity now to manifest our peaceful nature. Today we will start our questions with the weekly ascension meditation and general meditation questions. Cobra, the first question is, can you explain why the transition was from weekly event meditation to the weekly ascension meditation? What is the difference?
Okay, the transition was made because the situation has improved to the point where such change became necessary, because our focus at this point is not only the event, not only the breakthrough, but also the final goal, which is the ascension. And with this meditation, we are speeding up the whole process, since the vibrational frequency of the planet is high enough to make this possible.
Awesome.
That sounds great to me.
Cobra, so as an alternative, for those that cannot meditate at the time of 4 p.m. GMT, this reader has a suggestion for the weekly meditation. Can we each do the meditation each day and set the intention that, for example, my meditation takes effect on the coming Sunday at 4 p.m.? Wouldn't this multiply the effect 7 times if we meditate every day with this intention?
It would not multiply the effect 7 times, but yes, it would help. So for those who cannot make it at 4 p.m. GMT on Sunday, this is a good suggestion.
Thank you.
This questioner has been noticing many forms of the weekly ascension meditation. Cobra, can you tell us what is the most important elements to include in the group meditation that we do together on Sundays? Would it include the pink egg or the goddess spiral? What's important when making a recording?
Okay, the official version of the weekly ascension meditation is on my blog on the right-hand side. You can click on this picture with the group hug and you will get instructions there written, and also there is a video being made. Actually, the video was made in many languages, and the basic version does not include the pink egg or the goddess spiral because it needs to be spread to as many people as possible, but those who feel guided to include the pink egg or the goddess spiral, of course, they are very much welcome to do so.
Thank you.
Cobra, can you speak a little about the purpose of prayer and meditation and how it affects us, others, and the universe?
The purpose of meditation is always to connect with your own soul, with your higher self, and the presence of soul brings more light and higher vibrations into the situations on the planet by itself. So it is always, if a critical mass of people are meditating, they are actually stabilizing the positive timeline. And hundreds of thousands of people meditating each day have actually ensured that this planet has not been destroyed until now.
Wow. And the purpose of prayer?
The purpose of prayer is to connect with your source, to communicate with your source, with the source of creation, with the source, and this is one of many ways how we can connect with the source.
Thank you. And how does that affect the universe, and how does it affect others?
Actually, it creates a channel between the physical plane and higher dimensional planes, and this channel allows the light forces to intervene more. But more than just a general prayer, what is much more effective is a focused, intense meditation at a specific point in space and time, and this can increase the efficiency of that invocation many, many times.
Can you give an example of that?
Weekly ascension meditation is one example of that.
Thank you.
Cobra, the next questions are about general meditation. And this person writes, in our synchronized meditation, our tri-sphere group is strongly feeling the presence and assistance of the light forces. I am feeling the archons present to one degree or another, particularly in the last 3 weeks, while preparing to meditate or during meditation. At this time, clairvoyant vision has ceased. Do you believe that these two are related to Archon interference?
Basically, what is happening in the last few weeks again is an increased activity of the Archon forces on the, I would say, on the plasma plane, etheric plane, and to a certain degree on the astral plane, and that interferes with meditation also to a certain degree. This situation will be slowly reversed as we progress towards December.
Thank you.
Cobra, do high-density beings meditate also?
Yes.
What is their purpose for meditation? Is it the same as ours?
The same, yes.
Is there a simple meditation that you can give for everyone?
I would not do that because I think it's the best for everybody to find the best and optimal technique according to her or his own energy structure and his own or her own state of development.
Okay, thank you.
Cobra, is grounding a must for meditation?
The key here is balance, and the balance is created by devoting some time in your day to physical activities and devoting some time to spiritual activities, and this is the key which can actually speed up your evolution, not to go into extremes.
Thank you.
Cobra, this reader says, I have a problem in balancing my nervous system, and my sympathetic nervous system tends to dominate, causing it to be hard to enter a meditative state. What can I do about this?
Okay, probably this is happening for a few reasons. One of them is excessive stress, and the other one is suppressed emotions or suppressed belief systems which are coming to the surface. And if you minimize the stress, for example, by spending some time in nature and acknowledging the suppressed issues coming onto the surface, this will tend to balance itself.
Thank you.
Instead of silencing your mind when meditating, is it equally effective to contemplate a certain picture when meditating?
Yes, this is simply another approach to meditation.
Thank you. Can a person meditate when tired, or when their vibration has fallen low, or they are lacking in concentration? Will meditating in this kind of state render negative effects on other members of the Trisphere meditation group?
No, actually, if you're tired, you can spend some time simply relaxing and not having a focused concentrated meditation, and then proceed with your usual technique, and that can have positive effects.
Thank you very much.
This person writes, for a few years, I have been seeing spiral rainbow light from a whitish hole in my vision when I close my eyes, followed by a lot of dense electric blue cycles appearing and patterns which vary each time. If I concentrate for a few minutes, it can heal the disorder and pain in my body. It looks like the goddess vortex of the meditation video clip in YouTube. Is that what I saw related to the goddess vortex?
Yes, actually you are experiencing a goddess vortex itself entering your consciousness, and this is a very good sign.
Great.
Are there any suggestions for her what she can do to make that stronger, or just continue doing what she's doing already?
Just continue.
Thank you. Cobra, this writer says, I find things can manifest quite a long time after visualization. Is there a reason behind the long delay?
Yes, of course, the reason being the physical plane, which is quite dense, and it has a long reaction time to the manifestation in impulse.
So if they were to manifest or think about what they want, visualize what they want more often, would it make it happen faster?
Maybe a little bit, but not much. The idea here is just to continue doing whatever you're doing and focusing on the vision, and just understand that on the physical plane it takes some time to manifest.
I understand. Thank you.
Is meditating useful in bustling circumstances like in a train or when taking a walk? Can it be effective as undisturbed situation?
It can be useful if you are able to not be distracted by those circumstances.
Thank you.
Cobra, given there is so much activity on the moon, and that it is said that the moon is an artificial satellite with many bases on the far side, does it make sense to meditate according to the moon's cycles?
Okay, I would not agree with the statement that the moon is an artificial object.
Okay.
And I would say yes, of course, because the moon is one of the major, I would say, one of the most important bodies in the solar system, which actually acts as a lens for powerful Goddess energies. And aligning with the moon cycle will get you in contact with those energies.
Thank you. You said that you wouldn't agree with that statement. So what would you say the moon is? I've heard that it was artificial, but and there's no signs of it actually being alive from what scientists are saying.
So what is your question?
So is it artificial or is it
No,
natural?
it is not.
It's not. Okay,
It's
thank
a
you.
natural satellite with a lot of, I would say, life forms and artificial technology there. But the moon itself is a natural object.
Thank you very much.
This questioner writes, I have focused my mental energies to protect our group meditations for the last couple of months. I first felt the energies of the group unifying, and I felt the warmth in the back of my skull that I feel when I send out positive energies. But when I focused my energies on not allowing the dark draconian reptilian energies to interfere, I felt the connection break immediately and almost painfully, leaving me disturbed and slightly dazed for a few hours. I am interested to know what is the best method for protecting the group meditations.
The best method is simply to focus upon the purpose of that meditation and doing it with that purpose in mind and not being distracted by other things such as archons.
Good advice. So it is only appropriate here to speak about weekly ascension meditation. We as a global community stop whatever we are doing every Sunday at 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time to join with our brothers and sisters around the world to intend to bring about peace in our world with full disclosure to join our galactic family. If you are not yet meditating with us on Sunday, I invite you to join us. You can find the correct meditation time for your country by checking the link in our transcript.
So we're going to go into liberation process updates now. Was October a better month for the light forces as far as the liberation process?
Better compared to what?
The previous month.
September.
Yes, of course.
Are there any updates you can give us on that?
Not at the moment. The updates, I have received instructions not to give any updates about the planetary situation until this election business is over. And then, of course, I will give more updates, which will include the planetary situation and the situation of the progress of the light forces.
Excellent. Can't wait. Thank you.
Cobra, can you tell us anything about the ongoing war of taking down the Chimera?
The same as with the previous question at this point.
Okay, and how about the status of Yaldabaoth?
Okay, I can say a little bit about that. Basically, the light forces are working on cutting the tentacles of that entity from its hat, and there is some progress being made.
Thank you.
Cobra, what is the situation on the cracks in the veil? Are there more opening, or is it about the same?
The situation is still not improving much, but there are plans to introduce certain things after, I would say, mid-November.
Great, thank you.
Can you give us an update regarding the geopolitical situation?
Okay, I would put it this way. Regardless of who wins the elections, the light forces will continue to make progress regarding the removal of the cabal, and more progress in this area will be felt and sensed since mid-November.
Thank you.
Cobra, can you provide any updates regarding the Expo political situation?
Okay, again, this is a very sensitive subject at the moment, and I will, after this election situation is over, I will provide some updates in my blog.
Great, thank you.
Okay, this is the last update. This person wants to know about the subterranean situation. Is there anything you can say about that?
Yes, the resistance movement is preparing for certain actions, again, as I have mentioned before, after the November 5th
Okay.
Cobra, are all of the 144,000 fully activated at this time? Or do they become fully active? Okay.
No.
Thank you.
They will become fully active after the event.
Got it. Thank you.
Cobra, can you give us a ballpark figure of where we stand in our journey towards the event?
I would say that we have, I would say it's hard to give you an exact number for many reasons, but I would say we are getting closer and closer. I cannot give a definite answer to this question for obvious reasons.
I understand.
Thank you. Cobra, are our currencies gold backed now?
No.
Thank you.
Okay. Are the boots on the ground doing what needs to be done at this time? Are people waking up, and are they taking some kind of action to change things?
I would say that the basic actions need to be taken are being taken, and all this situation with the elections will serve as a catalyst for further awakening, and this is actually quite good. But I would say that the real action is not there. We're not there yet. We are not there yet at that point.
Got it. Cobra, what are your thoughts on the grand acclamation made by Swiss Indo on October 16th?
Okay, I know there are very many rumors about Swiss Indo, but my sources cannot absolutely confirm that what those claims represent are true.
Thank you.
This has been an eventful month with WikiLeaks revelations coming out daily, each day getting deeper and deeper into the corruption that has been perpetrated upon us. Cobra, is there anything that you can tell us as to the effectiveness of these revelations? Are they helping?
I would say, yes, I would say that those revelations are exposing one little aspect of Cabal structure, and they actually serve as a good catalyst for awakening, which will happen much later, when we are much closer to the event. But it is laying a good groundwork, a solid foundation for later actions. So although we might not see any effects of this, long-term results will be much more spectacular.
Great.
Cobra, is there anything you can tell us about Julian Assange? Some people want to know if he was actually working with the light forces.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a couple questions about the financial area. Cobra, can you give us an update on the global financial situation, and is it the same around the world?
Okay, the old system is in a state of slow collapse, but all those rumors about the research, evaluation, all this, when those things happen, you will see it, you will experience it quite directly. So I would not focus too much on those rumors. I would simply focus upon doing whatever you can do for the planetary liberation, and you can also use some of your energy to manifest abundance in your own life, not through rumors, but by utilizing the principles of manifestation.
Very good advice. I have people wanting to know if there's any possibility for humanitarian funds to be released maybe before 2017. Is that a possibility?
It is an extremely remote possibility.
Okay.
Cobra, can you speak about the role of gold and silver both before the events and after the events?
Okay, before the event, I would say there is a process of putting the world's financial system partially on a gold standard, and this will shift it away from manipulations, from the possibility of manipulations that the cabal is exploiting in the last, I would say, 60 or 70 years quite effectively. And after the event, the role of gold and silver will diminish simply because there will be advanced technologies introduced that will allow people to materialize gold and silver directly from the etheric substance with replicators. Gold and silver will retain their spiritual and symbolic value, but they will not be seen as tools to manifest abundance or tools. They will not be any more mediums of exchange. because real spiritual value of every incarnated soul will determine that will become the basis of the new system, which will be slowly developed after the event and towards the first contact, and especially after the first contact.
I understand. Thank you very much.
Now we're going to switch subjects to music. Is there music as we know it on other planets?
Yes, there is music. It is usually more melodic. It is more like music as it was thousands of years ago on this planet, and not what we know as modern music in the last 2 decades, except a few exceptions.
Okay. Cobra, we learn music theory here on Earth, such as circle of fifths and how keys such as key of C or B flat are put together. How does music on Earth differentiate with the music on other planets?
Okay, the basic principles are the same, but the wording and exact description of those principles can vary from planet to planet, but some basic resonances remain the same.
So it could sound like music that we are familiar with, like you said, 1,000 years ago, but it's just put together differently.
Yeah, it could. It could.
Got you. Thank you.
Is the music theory that we learn a realistic representation of music, or is it simply our way of perceiving how music is created? Is the perception of music elsewhere similar to how humans perceive music?
It depends on what you would define as elsewhere. People who are humanoid, actually races who are human-like, tend to perceive music in a similar way because their earlobe and their hearing apparatus tends to perceive the same, I would say roughly the same frequencies of sound. But there are many races which have different physical structure, and their perception of music is of course different. And also on higher spiritual planes, music is, I would say, richer, deeper, and more profound. And it encompasses more of the spectrum than this narrow band of frequencies that we experience here on Earth on the physical plane.
That's awesome. Thank you. Cobra, is there a common ritual dance on other planets?
They dance, but it's not as formalized as it is usually on this planet, especially in the last few centuries. Because the controlling forces have been using dance, actually they have been formalizing dance in order to control human population. In the past, dance was much less formalized and much more spontaneous.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So, Cobra, the next question is about chakras. There are claims out there that people can remove their chakras. Is this possible, and what are the ramifications of doing so?
Okay, I would ask people to use their common sense and not to attempt to remove chakras. First, they cannot do it, and second, if they attempt to do it, they will just disrupt the energy flow in their energy bodies. It will be the same as attempting to remove one organ of your physical body, claiming that this will improve your situation. Chakras are there for a reason.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
What can you tell us about human, astral, and etheric bodies?
Okay, human, etheric, and astral bodies are, I would say the etheric body is our energy body, which sustains us with energy, and our astral body is our body to which we express and experience our emotions. And both are very much needed and necessary for our spiritual and also personal development.
And this questioner wants to know if in humans that these bodies are underdeveloped.
I would not say underdeveloped, but I would say they were developed under extreme pressure, so they did not grow in a way that would be optimal for human development, especially because of all control and all the negative technologies that human beings have been exposed to.
Okay.
Cobra, how do the astral and etheric bodies compare with the soul?
The astral and etheric bodies are part of the fourth dimension, soul begins at the sixth dimension.
Thank you very much.
Asperger's syndrome is sometimes described as a mild form of autism. In the past, Asperger's syndrome was very rare, or people were not labeled with this. Why has this syndrome come along now? Is Asperger's syndrome a disease, in a person's astral, etheric, or plasma body?
This sin it has increased simply because the archons have increased the use of their negative technologies such as biochips, such as implants, scalar technology, and all this has created a trauma in higher energy bodies. And Asperger's syndrome is just the outer manifestation of that trauma.
Do you see that Asperger's and autism can be healed after the event?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Cobra, is Alcoholics Anonymous an extension of the Cabal?
No.
Thank you.
Who invented the original template of the human body? Was it programmed to persist across densities?
It was a development of very highly developed creator beings which had a mission to develop life in the physical form in order to transform the primary anomaly.
Is the prime template the same across the universe?
Yes.
Thank you.
How much of the template has been distorted through genetic experimentations?
I would say quite a lot. It could be said around 50%.
Wow. Thank you.
Now we have a couple of questions on implants. A Scandinavian gentleman commented on your blog that he ended up with twice as many implants as before. How does one prevent the dark from reinserting the implants that have been removed?
Okay, first, people are claiming to receive implants or claiming to have implants being removed when in many cases that is not happening. So I would say that people need to double check if this is really happening or is it just their own interpretation of what is happening. Because the number of implants, number one, is not that big, and number two, they are very difficult to remove. And if somebody would remove the implant, that would have drastic impact on the personal situation of that person.
Great, thank you. Cobra, in one of your blog posts, you mentioned that implants of certain light workers contain toplet and strangelet bombs. Is this something still happening, and how can we detect them?
This has been resolved. This has been resolved.
Great, thank you so much.
Okay, I have a question on energy. As we are all victims of electronic harassments, can you describe how this can be removed post-event? Will it occur automatically as a reversal in the field, or will we have to follow some protocol to become normal again?
Actually, it will be both. Much of it will be removed automatically, or I would not say automatically. It will be removed by the activities, intense work of the light forces, and part of it will require active participation of people.
Our small Prepare for Change Leadership Council is growing. I would like to introduce to you our coordinator of volunteers, Bruce. He invites you to communicate with him if you would like to join our volunteer team at Prepare for Change. He will be receiving your volunteer requests and helping you join a team that interests you. There is always work to do. You can contact Bruce by email at brucec@prepareforchange.net.
So, Cobra, the next section is about new technologies. Cobra, are you familiar with Dr. Grigory Grabov, the Russian scientist who can heal people from disease and manifest things?
Yes, I'm aware of that person.
Can you tell us how he does this, and if it's real, and whatever you know about him?
Actually, what he's doing, he's teaching one aspect of manifestation process, and by utilizing manifestation process in his interaction with people, he can get results.
Is he working on the positive side, or is he not?
Yes, he's working on a positive side.
Great, thank you.
Are the new cordless iPhones with Bluetooth Wi-Fi earphones meant to control people via messages sent through the earbuds?
Yes, this is one way they can actually operate. I would say that most of the cell phones are actually used as a tool for the cabal to control human beings.
Wow. Cobra, are there any other new technologies that are damaging to humans?
The most damaging technologies that I would mention again are the cell phones and of course the scalar wave technologies, which they are still quite present on the surface of the planet.
Is there anything you could recommend for us to counteract these technologies, other than not having them?
Okay, I was speaking about that before. There are some protocols which can help to a certain degree, and there are technologies being developed by the light forces that might be presented through my blog in the near future that will be quite effective against scalar plasma technologies.
Thank you very much.
Cobra, is this ongoing damage that we get from continual use? Will this be able to be reversed?
Yes, of course.
How can we develop the technology now to regenerate the soil?
There are a few things that need to be done. One of them is to remove the toxins from the soil as much as possible. And there are some protocols for that you can find on the internet. And the other thing that you can do or can be done is to use, I would say, positive orgone or positive etheric technologies to create resonance fields in the soil to infuse positive etheric light into the soil. And that will help a lot with that situation.
Thank you.
Cobra, how will soil be regenerated after the event?
The light forces will use very advanced technologies to rejuvenate the soil.
Nice. Cobra, what is it about the soil or garden processes underground and in outer space that makes crops grow so large and nutrients dense?
It is simply the love that those beings give to the soil and positive energy, and this makes, of course, the soil much more, I would say, the whole process is then much more effective than it is on planet Earth when most people approach this from strictly physical or profit perspective.
I understand, thank you.
Cobra, what form of water is the safest and most healing?
Life water from natural springs is the best.
Does the Sintamani stone change with use? If so, what changes occur?
No, it does not change with use.
Okay.
Certain crystals are heated in the sun while others do not. Why?
It's simply because of their thermal conductivity. Some of crystals have this value higher, some of them have it lower.
Cobra, is plastic an invention of the Archons?
No.
Thank you.
Is it possible to override the effects of Archon implants, the veil, and other dark force technology by asking for assistance from light forces, thereby giving them permission to intervene on our behalf without triggering negative consequences such as detonation of strangelet bombs?
Yes, that's a very good idea.
Would it actually make any difference if you did not believe that these things can affect you, these negative implants or these technologies? Like consciously, you just don't believe that it affects you. Would that make any difference in the effects?
Not much.
Thank you.
Can thought transmission plasma into physical matter?
Actually, one aspect of plasma is already in the physical matter. And yes, a very focused thought can influence that process.
Can thought determine how atomic subparticles combine, thus creating chemical compounds from nothing?
I would not say from nothing, but I would say yes, thought can rearrange atoms in chemical compounds. It is possible.
Cobra, is dark matter 0 point potentially that has not manifested physically in the current universe?
Actually, dark matter is a special form of matter which is located between the plasma and the physical plane. It is simply another particles which do not interact strongly with regular matter and are actually necessary for manifestation of, I would say, plasma and etheric substance into the physical plane.
Thank you.
Cobra, according to latest research, scientists predict a mini ice age in around 15 years' time, which would lead to the solar activity dropping by 60%. Is this so, or will the REM be able to prevent these temperature imbalances and extremes from happening?
Actually, the light forces will minimize the effects of this mini ice age. They will not completely erase them, but they will counterbalance them with their light technologies.
Can you talk about these technologies and how can the surface population help with this?
These are advanced technologies which are actually positioning of motherships in certain positions around the Earth and activating and balancing the ley lines. What a surface population can do is to use their own way to heal and balance the ley lines. One example of this is putting Sintamani stones on ley line vortex points, what many people are already doing very effectively in the last few years.
Good.
Cobra, what is a secure alternative to Google that we can use to ensure we aren't being infiltrated by the cabal?
Okay, there are a few browsers which are much safer, but they are much slower, as far as I know, and also they are not 100% secure.
Okay, could you give us an example of one or name one?
I don't have an example ready right now, but if you ask me next time, I can find something that is most convenient. But as far as I know, there are a few which are much safer than Google, but they are quite inconvenient and slow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Cobra, this question involves ships. During the summer of 1987, on each evening in June, July, and August, I saw 15 brilliant white lights pulsating, pyramid-shaped starcrafts. They would put on a show for me in the sky. I also sensed that the crafts were alive. Telepathically, I was told that when they return, I will be working with them. Only 2 other people that I know have seen these crafts. Who are they and where do they come from?
They were the Pleiadians, and yes, they will contact you again after the event.
Thank you.
Cobra, these questions are about the event. Are we secure in knowing that the event will be smooth and successful yet?
Yes, the event will be successful and quite peaceful because most of the obstacles towards the event have already been removed.
Great, thank you.
What locations are the safest and secure? Is there such a thing?
Okay, I would say that the Asian countries are more stable and more secure than the Western world at this point, but I would say that also that if you use your own guidance, you will find the best place for yourself.
Is it still true they say a lot of people are getting the message that they should be 100 miles from the ocean?
It is not necessary.
Great, thank you so much. How will the sun change at the time of the event? Will we see a difference from Earth?
The sun will still stay the same, but there might be some coronal mass ejections from the sun, and some of them might become visible, but I'm not guaranteeing that.
Thank you.
You have said that duality will end after the event, but duality is just a product of the mind. It is not real. It is simply a way of viewing the world. It is our attachment to duality and the belief that it is real that is the source of our problems and of our unenlightenment. If we are going to keep our minds, how exactly would duality be eliminated, and why should such a thing be necessary?
Okay, I do not agree with the basis premise of this question, so I cannot answer this question in a way that would satisfy the questioner. Duality is not a product of the mind. It is an objective interaction between the source and the primary anomaly. And when I would say the harshest aspects of duality are removed, this will free us for higher spiritual evolution.
Got it.
Thank you. Cobra, will the physical aspect of the galactic pulse reach us at a set date, or can it be delayed?
Again, the exact moment of the galactic pulse is a result of interaction of our consciousness with the galactic consciousness, and the date has not been set yet.
It's sort of still waiting for us to reach the point where we're ready for it?
It has not reached the planet yet, as you can obviously see.
Yes.
And outside of a certain area around the solar system, the physical wave is traveling with superluminal speed. It does not travel with the speed of light, but with much greater speed.
Our website bills continue, so I ask for your assistance for prepareforchange.net. Your contribution shows that you like our content and continuing efforts to upgrade our site. Please use the donate button on the right-hand side of the web page, or use the postal address in our transcript. Be sure to note the donation is for Prepare for Change, PFC. Please send your check to 4530 Whittier Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90022. These next few questions are on plasma and the veil. What are people seeing in the skies who are reporting angels or other plasma forms? Is this a result of cracks in the veil?
Angels are not a plasma phenomenon. Angels are very advanced beings, and yes, because of the cracks in the veil, angelic presences have been greatly increased, especially the last half year, and this will increase even more.
Thank you.
Can you tell us what they're doing to help us or to make the changes?
They are increasing the presence of light in the quarantine, and they are assisting us in our evolution towards the light. And they are, of course, also assisting in the planetary liberation process.
Amazing, thank you. Cobra, did the source intend for duality or the quantum anomaly to happen in this cosmic cycle?
No. It did not intend for the cosmic anomaly to happen. It happened against, or shall we say, outside of the scope of intention of the source.
Was it always a possibility that it could happen?
Yes. And this cosmic cycle is simply a focal point in space-time continuum when that anomaly can be transformed.
Great, thank you.
In August interview, it was said that the leader of the Archons was arrested, turned to light, then volunteered to be disintegrated in the galactic central sun, and his wish was granted. Can any entity apply, if you will, to be designated, to be disintegrated?
Yes, that wish can be granted if there is a higher purpose for that.
If there's a higher purpose. So, if you will be disintegrated in the galactic central sun and choose out of free will not to exist any longer, who decides to grant the entity's wish, and upon what is it based?
Okay, I would say it is very or extremely unlikely for any of the light beings to have that wish, because after they will be liberated from the conditions on the surface of the planet, they will want to exist. They will want to continue to exist. They will not have that wish anymore. For those of the other side who will begin to realize what they have done, might have that wish, and in most cases, it will be granted.
That makes sense to me. Thank you.
Cobra, how are beings with evil intentions able to be fourth dimensional?
Or higher.
Fourth dimension is still not beyond duality, and of course those beings can be fourth dimensional. There is no reason why they should not be.
Thank you. What level do the evil intention beings stop at? Fifth dimension?
A fourth dimension, higher fourth dimension is the highest they can go.
Thank you very much.
Those Cabal members that go to the central sun, what form of life will they take when they begin their new evolutionary process?
They will begin their new evolutionary process as very simple elemental forms of life, Like they will need to start the whole cycle again from the scratch.
Thank you.
What would you describe as a very simple elemental form of life, like a rock?
Even simpler than that.
Thank you very much. So the next questions are about ascension. Will there be only few of us who survive the 5D ascension process on Earth? And what will happen to the ones that do not?
The ascension process isn't something that you survive or don't survive. It is something that transforms you.
Okay, so will everyone on Earth be transformed in this process?
Everybody will be transformed one way or the other, but not everybody will ascend.
And what will happen to the ones that do not ascend? Will they leave to other planets? Will they be the creators of the new universe? What happens to them?
Ultimately, when the whole process is over, long time after the event, people who do not ascend will be taken to other places in the galaxy where they will continue their evolution.
What happens to the lower dimensions when ascension process happens?
They will be transformed.
Transformed. Thank you.
If we all become peaceful, loving species on Earth, will we be defenseless against other aliens who try to invade us from other planets?
Nobody will try to invade this planet anymore because it will be the end of darkness.
Great, thank you.
And even though we will be a peaceful society, we will know how to defend ourselves if there is a need, and of course there will not be a need.
Thank you. Cobra, are we going to know the past lives of ourselves and all the Ascended Masters after the event?
Yes, we will know our past lives, and when necessary, we will know about the past lives of the Ascended Masters.
Is the information about the Ascended Masters that are being told now about past lives, is that really true stuff or not?
Mostly not, but there are some parts of it that are true.
Great, thank you.
The method of collecting Cobra questions is changing. From this day forward, I will not accept any questions coming to me by any method other than being placed on the website. We are getting far more questions than we can possibly ask in a 1-hour interview. I ask that you limit your questions to only 1 or 2 per week. Please be respectful of other people. We will ask as many Cobra questions as Cobra will answer in the hour allotted. It is best to ask your questions early in the month because at some point we have to cut off the questions and start compiling what we have. The interviews are usually conducted in the latter days of the month, except for this month. So there's always exceptions. I appreciate your cooperation with this.
So this is about stargates and portals. Cobra, what is the difference between a stargate and a jump room?
Okay, a stargate can be a natural portal which transfers you to another location or to a higher dimension. A jump room is simply a technological portal which was created between exit and entry point.
So the jump room would go from one point to another, and the stargate will be able to you'll be able to go wherever you want to go from that point?
Basically, this is one part of the definition, yes.
Thank you.
Cobra, this person is asking you to comment on the mystery of the Orion Nebula. They want to know, is this a gateway or a doorway to God or higher dimensions?
Actually, the central part of Orion with the Orion Nebula and the 3 stars in the Orion Belt is a very high doorway into, I would say, 8th dimension and beyond.
Thank you. What is your take on the Orion Nebula, Cobra? Is there anything else that you want to tell us?
This is the basic information. It is a stargate beyond the 8th dimension and out of this sector of the galaxy towards the galactic center and beyond.
Wow.
Thank you.
Cobra, this section is about light forces. Is the concept, existence of self a mystery even to most advanced beings in the cosmos?
No.
So everyone is pretty much aware of the higher self?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's an aberration, an anomaly not to be aware of your higher self, and this happens basically in this unliberated solar system at this point.
Cobra, did there once exist a defense grid throughout the solar system and beyond?
It did exist, and it still exists, and it's actually being remodeled and renewed.
Thank you.
Cobra, what are the real identities of Confucius and Lazu?
They are now ascended masters at this point, and they are working especially with the Chinese population, especially with the most awakened part of the Chinese population in assisting in the planetary liberation process.
Thank you.
Elon Musk of the Tesla car fame and SpaceX seems to be playing both sides of the light-dark issue. What side is he really on, Cobra?
He's working for the light forces. He has been inspired at a certain point in his past by the Pleiadians and given a vision to put humanity on Mars. And it's part of the greater plan for the planetary liberation.
That sounds great. Thank you. Sekhmet maintains her formness of lioness, or she is depicted just on Earth as half woman and half cat. Is she helping on Earth towards our ascension, directly or indirectly, Cobra?
She's working very directly in certain specific situations, especially when certain boundaries need to be put towards the dark forces, and she is channeling very strong light from the Sirius star system towards this solar system, and is part of the galactic forces of light at this point.
Thank you.
Yeah, what are the most common forms of exercise when it comes to the Pleiadians? Do they exercise as we do here on Earth?
Not in the same way. They like movement, but they don't have formalized exercise as we have it now on this planet.
So would it be something like yoga or that type of exercise?
Not even yoga. It's more like a flow of spontaneous movement and dance.
Okay.
Is Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi an important member of the light? And could you tell us what his role is?
I would say that he is, to a certain degree, cooperating with the light forces and is an important person within the BRICS movement and part of the Eastern Alliance.
Thank you.
Cobra, are there positive ETs that consume aspects of human cultures, food, music, dance styles?
I would say that there are positive ETs that like certain aspects of human culture, but I would not say that this is a major aspect of their culture.
Thank you.
Do you think the Pleiadians will want to travel to Earth after the quarantine is lifted?
Gradually, yes. When the humanity begins to raise their consciousness, they will like to travel to Earth more and more.
Has the positive military terminated Cabal leaders and henchmen?
No.
There's a show called Mr. Robot.
Yes.
And you talked about the fact that the RM had infiltrated this show.
Oh, yes. Yeah, okay.
And this person is just wanting more information in that regard.
Okay, basically the resistance movement had some agents in Hollywood, and they have infiltrated some ideas in those movies. One of them is Avatar, the second one is The Matrix, Elysium, movies of that kind. They have, the resistance movement has released some intel through those movies.
Thank you.
Cobra, will there be a movie that shows the cosmic history from when the quantum anomalies happened up or even just 26,000 years ago until now from the perspective of the light forces?
Yes, there is a plan for such a movie after the event.
Great, thank you.
Corey Good said that disclosure of low-level military intelligence agency, SSP, that operates in low Earth orbit is underway. Is the Flying Dorito UFO appearing over Werkin Hill in England a low Earth SSP craft?
No.
Okay. I have some questions about dark forces. According to your biochip update, it is assumed that the biochips can send out audio-video stream to Chimera's computer. And there's 3 questions related to this. Chimera has known all of the developments of positive military on the surface. Chimera has known all the strategies of Eastern Alliance and other surface positive groups. Chimera has known all the identities, addresses of the awakened surface population, has known all of the public and private information of those 144,000 people, especially the most awakened ones, which means they can send agents to assassinate the light worker and light warriors if necessary.
Okay, we need to go step by step here. The Chimera does have all that information, but they cannot act because the light forces of a higher nature are stopping them in their actions.
Okay, and this person just says, how can we win this war if we are known but they are not? So we're getting help.
Yes, the surface population and the positive military alone cannot win that war, and this is why the mass arrest did not happen in 2012. Higher light forces such as the resistance movement, the Pleiadians, and Galactic Force of Light are assisting in removal of the Chimera group, and then the ground forces such as positive military and the Eastern Alliance will be extremely effective and successful in their operations when their time will come at that point.
Okay, is there anything that we can do to secure our privacy from the Chimera?
Yes, they cannot read your private thoughts.
Well, that's good. Thank you.
Does calling in protection from the angels or from the higher dimensions help with this also?
Yes.
Thank you. Cobra, if reptilians are fourth dimensional beings, then why do they need to create negative events to massively lower vibrations in order to open portals to interact on the current human Earth plane?
Because they need negative energy which is in resonance with their own energy field to travel through those portals.
Great, thank you.
Can you talk about shadow people, Cobra?
Yes.
Some people determine that shadow people are basically plasma and etheric beings of a negative nature.
Who are the physical Chimera and how would we recognize them?
You would not be able to recognize them. They are in their physical bodies and they are mostly located in positions within military and intelligence agencies at this point. Those of them who are on the surface.
Cobra, how do positive ETs manage stress and prevent themselves from negative emotions?
They are simply creating a beautiful positive environment for themselves, and therefore the stress simply does not happen except in their interaction with liberation process in the solar system, and then they counteract that stress by spending a fair amount of time in positive environment to remove the stress and then interact with this quarantine environment again.
Gotcha, thank you.
Cobra, is Nirmal Baba a part of the Illuminati?
No.
Thank you. Cobra, I want to thank you for being with us today and spending this time and giving such great answers. And we look forward to our next visit with you. Is there anything you'd like to say to the audience?
Yes, I would say everybody just to keep calm, do not focus so much on this drama which is happening in the media, but they are focused more on your individual spiritual growth and whatever you can do for the planetary liberation, spread information, and we are getting closer and closer day by day. I know this is all taking too long, but we will be victorious.
Thank you so much.
Agreed.
Cobra.
Thank you so much, Cobra.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
In closing, I would like to thank the whole team that has made this interview possible. Cobra for being a gracious guest. His website is 2012portal.blogspot.com. Richard, my interview partner. Dove for our theme song, Voices of the World. Danelle for her transcription expertise. And the Cobra Questions team of Megan, Miranda, Sean, and Robert for their organizational help. Aaron on sound, Untwine for modulation and editing, Eduardo and Dane behind the scenes, and all our wonderful listeners. And remember always, we are all voices of the world.
I hear the words of Gandhi and Martin Luther King to take the peaceful path, to dream the noble dream. We're all brothers and sisters who share a world that's small. When we let go of our greed, there'll be enough for us all. The walls have been built to keep people apart. We can join together through the beauty of the heart. I hear the voices of the world singing songs of peace and light. I see the vision of harmony appearing within our sight. From every culture, every faith, a flower blooms to right each wrong. We are the voices of the world. Add your voice and sing along. All mothers feel their child as they laugh and learn and cry. All fathers feel the same pride when they look into their eyes. Yet some families go hungry, struggling just to live. But there's enough for everyone if we just knew how to give. Now is the time for a new era to start. We can join together through the beauty of the heart. I hear the voices of the world singing songs of peace and light. I see the vision of harmony appearing within our sight. From every culture, every faith, a flower blooms to right each wrong. We are the voices of the world. Add your voice and sing along. All people are part of the dream. With love to show the way, the violence will cease. All people are part of the team to extend harmony, so the world will live in peace. I hear the voices of the world from every village, every land, a ray of hope within each smile, a new friend to join my hand. The human spirit lifts us high to fill our hearts again.